And it's still me, your instructor online here, Mr. Simeon. This was the last thing we did in the last class, working with arithmetic operation as in relation to what we have here in operators. You trying to know how you can use Python to perform a lot of arithmetic operations. And these are the kind of things we are actually talking about, and we did a lot of program writing in it. And what we were doing was to able to solve a problem, which was a Python program to calculate the volume of a cylinder with the formula pi r square times height. Pi r square times height. So we printed out this side to say this program calculates the volume of a cylinder. Then we have to constant pi, that create a variable called pi to be equals to 3.142, and radius, we typecasted it, we int the inputs, and we say what is the value of your radius. And we talk about new line in last class. I explained what new line means. That means to output or to input or collect whatever thing you want to collect in a new line. And height equals to input what is the height of a triangle, and I came here to perform my operation by saying triangle area equals to pi, that's 3.142, asterisk radius, asterisk 2, that is stands for square root, times height. Moving forward, I taught formatted output by saying if you put something here, you see what we call formatted output, things will come out. So formatted output goes by saying the volume of the cylinder with the radius of radius in curly bracket centimeter and the height of height in curly bracket centimeter is triangle centimeter. And we run the program by pressing Ctrl T. We run the program last time to be, the program gave us this program calculates the volume of a cylinder. What is the value of your radius? And we put 25. What is the height of your triangle? We put 15. And it says the volume of your cylinder with the radius of 25 centimeter and the height of 15 centimeter is 29,456.25 centimeters. So that was us working with arithmetic operators. So I'm going to be clearing the screen. And I'm going to be moving into the thing we have today. And what do we have today? It's a very interesting topic. It's one of the topic I love most in Python, and that is module 2, control flow. Let me see. Control flow is what we have module 1. Let's see how we can get it to control flow, so we can see what we have there, we can work with it. Do I have my own things in my mind, and we're going to be building a kind of an application today that can be useful for people in schools, in a bar parlor, in any kind of place that we are going to be. So let me just scroll down to module 2. Okay, this is a quiz. I love this. This is a quiz. So I'm going to be asking you right now in the class that how many of the following variable names are valid? Number 1, name. Number 2, string 2. Number 3, too cool. Number 4, underscore score. Number 5, spaces, space name. Number 6, else. Which one are correct ones? Okay, I need you to give me answer one by one. Start now. So the solution to the problem is that number 1, if you say number 1 is correct, you are correct. Very, very correct, because it's very possible that we can write an application, we can write a variable name that we can say name equals to Mr. Simeon. Is very, very possible. So number 1 is a correct, valid variable name. Number 2, string 2. String 2 is correct. String 2 is a correct variable name. String 2 is correct because any valid variable name can start with a letter and end with a number. Any valid variable name can start with a letter and end with a number. If it was string like this, I would have said it is not correct. But immediately you see it is underlined. It is underlined. Immediately you put 2 equals to, it goes off. That 2 has turned it to your own self variable name, such as something like name 1 equals to name 2 equals to, that is what they are saying, or number 1, number 2. You can start a variable name with a letter. String 2 is a correct name. You can give string 2 such as I am so happy. I am so happy could be a string, is a valid variable name. Number 3, too cool is a wrong variable name because every variable name must not start with a letter, with a number. Every variable name, no variable name must start with a number. Though possibly I heard there's some Python, and not Python, there's some programming language that can actually write a variable name starting with a number, but most, especially Python, does not accept that. Most does not accept it. So this is wrong. This is wrong. Then let's move on. If you say underscore is correct, if you say underscore is correct, you are very, very, very correct. You are very, very correct. You are very, very correct because this is a type of a snake case variable name. This is a snake case variable name, which can also bear things like examples such as something like my underscore first underscore number. My first underscore number equals to, this is a snake case variable name. Is very, very correct. Very, very, very correct. Now, number space name is very wrong. Space name is very, very wrong. Space name is wrong. Why? To every variable name, there must not be a space. There must not be a space. To any variable name, it is not accepted. There's not like space name. Now give it a variable name such as maybe 56. It is not accepted. Do you want to make it name, or do you want to make it spaces? But spaces space name is a very wrong variable name. It's a very capital letter X. Then this one is correct. And also Mr. Simeon under name is also correct. This one is super wrong. This is super wrong. This is snake case variable name is correct. And then other things. And which other one again? We have else. Else. Is else correct or wrong? Anybody that chooses else as correct is very, very, can you see the color changed? Is very wrong. Is very, very wrong. Else is not a valid variable name. Have you guys forgotten what I told you in previous classes? By the time I tell you the naming convention of variable name, no variable name must have a reserved word. Reserved word. Else is a reserved word in Python. Else is a reserved word in Python. Even almost all other programs, Python, other programming languages. So which one is this? 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's ABC. So what is the value of this expression? 8 raised to power 2 plus 12 divided by 4 times 3 minus 1 percentage of 5. What does it mean? It means they are telling us that a raised to power 2 plus 12 divided by 4 times 3 minus 1 modulo 5, meaning is it divisible by 5 without having a remainder? That is what we call modulo 5. So we're going to be seeing the answer here, anyhow we want to use Python to write it. So now we have a write a Python program that prints the result of 35 plus 5 times 10. We've did something related to that. Write a Python program that uses 3 operators to end up the value 99. I love this question. Please, do you guys understand this question? Do you guys understand this question? So question 3 goes, write a Python program that has a variable called name with the value of your name in it and a variable called age, storing your age, print out your name and your age using these variables. I think we've done something relating to that, right? We've done something relating to that. Yes. Now we are going to be writing my name is Simeon and my age is so. We can even do that with a formatted output. So thank you guys. I'm happy you are following me, and today we'll be working on the second module 2, which is conditional statements. Okay, this is naming convention. I've already talked about it. Camel case, Pascal case, and snake case. Let's move on. Data type. I've talked about this data type, and in this place let me just talk a little bit about this data type. In this binary types, text, byte array, and memory view, we really may not use it in Python, while some other programmers such as software developers, robotics engineer might be using it. But at our stage, at our level, we really don't need it. But there are programs written in bytes, that is zeros and one, 8 zeros or 1, or 8 zeros and 1 in 8 places is bytes. Then we have byte array. That means those 8 binary numbers in a particular kind of array. And we have memory view. That means we are trying to write a program to save a memory, maybe in form of mapping or a form of comprehensive thing, such a way that we can allocate a particular size to a memory to keep space for us. So it's still going with a variable, but in form of byte. Then we have Boolean. I want to talk about Boolean right now, please. I don't want us to forget about it, because when we begin to do conditional statements now, we'll be making use of Boolean a lot. Everybody who can answer this question, greater than, less than, equals to or less than, greater than or equals to, this one or this one, true or false. Who can tell me which one is Boolean? Which one is a Boolean? These signs, greater than, less than, equals to or less than, greater than or equals to, or not, even not equals to. There is not equals to, not equals to. Who can tell me? Who can tell me which one is a Boolean? Okay, you guys have done well. You've made good attempts. These are relational operators. Relational operators. They are relational operators. Why this is a Boolean data type? Is a Boolean data type. Whenever you write a particular operation using a relational operation here, it will give you its answer as true or false. Do you understand that, or I should come again? Do you understand that, or I should come again? Whenever you make use, you understand in the next class you are going right now. Whenever you make use of relational operators, the answer will always fall out into a Boolean variable data type, in a Boolean data type rather. Okay, I want you guys to ask to take a small class task now, and let's see if you would get it. Everybody watch this program. What do you think would be the outcome of this program? If I write A equals to 10, B equals to 15, B equals to 15, then I said A greater than B, print. Okay, I can say print A greater than B. Please, who's going to tell me what is going to be the answer? Thank you. Do you understand it now? Thank you, Ebuka. Hope you are able to get this. You get the concept. Whenever you use relational operators such as greater than, lesser than, equals to or lesser than, greater than or equals to, not equals to, the answer will always end at what kind of data type? A Boolean data type. Do we get that? Yeah, I'm with you. Yes. Well, that's where I want to enter into the next class now. That's what I want to explain to you. In programming languages, especially Python, when you want to talk about equals to in a conditional statement, you don't use one single equals to. Do you know why? Because when you created a variable, you use a single equals to, which simply means an assignment statement. You understand? You understand? You only use an equals to assign a value to something. But when you are telling us is A equals to B, it's going to be like this. Is A double equals B. You are not assigning the value of B into A. You are only testing B against A. I don't know if you grab that. Mr. Thank you. If you say A prints A equals B, you are saying assign the value of B into what? A. Thank you. When you now say print A equals B, you are saying, are you testing A or are you testing B? Is the same value as A. You are testing B against A. You are not assigning the value of B into A, but you are comparing the two values. That's the name. Comparison. Comparison sign. You are comparing B against A. Is B equals to A in values? That's what it means. Is B equals A in values? You will understand more when we enter into the topic of today, conditional statements. You understand more. So I just want to be true with this handout in case you get it. Then we have mapping type, we have dictionary. There's a dictionary that we are going to get there. Dictionary is like, it takes a lot of values and a lot of things together. Like you could say my school, and you could say curly brackets, enter curly brackets. You could go here and say junior school. You could put 20. You could come here and say senior school. you could put 34. Now what are we trying to say? In a single variable called my school, we have both variable name and a value, variable name and a value separated by commas. Only in one single thing you are having multiple inside of it. But when we talk about, don't worry, we'll work with it. When we talk about list, tuple and range, we are also talking about when you say, you could say model of cars, then you're going to be creating a list. Then you can have Benz, then you can have what else again? Toyota, you can have limo, you can have Lambo, like that. This is a list. In other programs we call it arrays. I'm still explaining data type, please. I'm still explaining data type. Now that is that about those data type, like list, which I told you it is a variable name into a square bracket, and you begin to list whatever you want to list with a comma to separate them. I can say a car model and say equals to Benz, Toyota, Liz, Limo, Lambo. I can decide to print the one that is in number 4. I can delete the one in number 5 and add something else in it. So that is a particular kind of data type. And another kind of data type is integer, float, and complex. I hope you guys understand integer, float, and complex. And that one is about integers and numbers from 0 or -0 to anything, like 999999999, as much as how long it could be. Float is any number within 9 to 9999, and that could actually also be in minus 0.099 or so. So complex are long numbers that has exponentiation in it and every other things. Why string? Everybody knows a string is any number, any word, any punctuation, any kind of symbol that is enclosed in a what? In a double quote. Anything enclosed in a double quote, in an apostrophe or double apostrophe, it's a what? Is a string. So we all understand this. Then this Python function, I'm not going to talk about Python function now. And we have done a lot about arithmetic operation. If you say x equals to Python is awesome, you are assigning this Python is awesome string into x. By the time you print it, it tells you Python is awesome. If you say, you can also use the plus operator, such as x is Python and y is is. You can say print x plus y. It will give you Python is. So on and so on and so on. Concatenation of strings. I've done this also. When I say a plus of 01 plus 02 will give you 0102. This is why I said it. STI1 plus STI2 will give you hello world. Will give you hello world. As we have put string 1 to hello and string 2 to world. Python formatting. I have taught you Python formatting. That is the FI name, comma, your age into bracket of age. So if the person says name equals to Ami, age equals to 21, it will come out and say, hi Ami, your age is 21. And this is how that goes. If you want to write the program, it goes like this. Name equals to, Ami, that's the string, and you say age equals to 21. You could print in a formatted output and say hi formatted f this and this. You can say hi then call the function of a name. I say name, I name, your age is, just calling this one age. So if I try to comment this place out by pressing Ctrl// and I run this one alone, I'm very sure. So when we have name equals to army, age equals to 21, you can print I, Python function, print function, formatted I, so person, your age is so age. And when you run this, and I'm going to be running it in math.py. So I'll just look for Python math.py. It says, "Hi, Ami, your age is 21." So that is what I just showed you. I'm deleting this. That's what I just showed you here. That is what I just showed you here. Python formatting. Okay, I want to ask a question, everybody. How many of the following statements are true? Python is case sensitive. True or false? Python is case sensitive. True or false? So number one is true. Python is case sensitive. Number two, a command in Python is terminated by a semicolon. True or false? A semicolon. When you type Python, do you add semicolon to every line like JavaScript? True or false? That is definitely a false. Indentation does not matter in Python. True or false? That is definitely a false. Python indentation is very, very important. Very, very important. So indentation does not matter in Python. It's a lie. Indentation does matter. You will see it in the next thing I want to take now. Indentation is very, very paramount. A single line comment starts with 3 apostrophe. No. A single line starts with a hash. Then multiple lines start with a 3 quotes, 3 apostrophes. The print command prints to standard input. No, the print command prints to standard output. You understand that? Then write a Python program that prints I am fantastic. I am very sure that we can all do that. Write a Python program that prints these 3 lines. I know that I can program in Python. I am programming right now. My awesome program has 3 lines. I know you guys can do that. Another question, and so on and so forth. Let's move to conditional statements, what we have today. Let's move to what we have. These are arithmetic operations. This is conditional statements. Now, everybody, like I told you, this is equal sign. This is not equal sign. This is less than. This is less than or equal to. This is wrong. Sorry, this is very, very wrong. This is not the sign of less than or equals to. It's actually equals to or less than. It's actually equals to or less than. It's like this. Equals to or less than. If you do it that way, it will not run. This is the right one. This is the right symbol. If you do the other way around, it will not run. Then we have greater than is correct. Greater than or equal to is correct. These conditions can be used in several ways, most commonly if statements and loops. And if statement is written by using the if word. And I'm going to be talking about indentation. Indentation. So let's start today and write our first Python if statement. Okay, I'm going to be creating a new file called cond dot py, cond dot py, that's condition dot py. I'm going to close this one off. I'm going to close this one off so we will not get to a level where we get ourselves confused. Now condition.py, how does condition.py goes? It's like this. This is the format. An if statement starts Python condition. An if statement starts Python condition. Then the conditional statement comes inside. Then the condition comes here. Then there's a symbol that comes in that says then. So if this condition is this, then look at it, indentation. You have to indent 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 4. Then your statement comes here. That is how a Python if statement comes. We are going to be doing more. We are going to get into the else statement with a column at the end, and we're going to get to more nested if statements. That is what we have. I hope you stay tuned and enjoy today's class. Now everybody, are you ready to start learning if statements? So looking at an if statement, we could say, okay, let's kick straight into it. And in this if statement, I'm going to be writing using even an input statement, or possibly let's start with a basic if statement, then we now add the input functions to it. When we say we want to write a Python program that determines if a value is greater than the other. Now that is the problem we are having right now, to write a Python program that determines if a value is greater than the other. We have a lot of reasons why we can write a Python program to determine a lot of things when we use if statement. That means when there are situations that you need to consider, maybe in one or two ways you need to consider these situations, then an if statement should come in. For example, let's write our first if statement by saying A equals to 30 or 20, and I can say B equals to 35. And I want to write something about an if statement that say if A is greater than B, then this stands for then print A is greater than B. Everybody, is this going to run? Is A actually greater than B? Is it going to run? It's not going to run because it is false. It is false. It's not going to run. It will run only, if statement will run only if it is true. So let me run this one right now, and I'm going to be clearing this one, and I'm going to be saying Python space cond dot py, nothing run. But what about if we close this right now and we change this value to 220, and this is 35, and we run the same program? We clear the screen and run this program again. It says A is greater than B. Hope you guys are listening. So, like what I'm saying, we're going to be writing a Python program that determines if a value is greater than the order or not. If a value is greater than the order or not. So in this place, we're going to be making use of our if else statement. If else statement is what we're going to be making use of. So we are going to say value 1 int input enter the first value to test, that is the \n, meaning that whatever answer we're going to be entering should come at the under or the under input. Then we're going to say value 2 int input enter the second value to test, and we're going to say if value 1 is greater than value 2, then that is colon, then print. I'm going to be doing a formatted print right now. I told you throughout the whole class, once I teach a formatted print, I'm not going to be doing anything again apart from using the formatted print. Okay, I'll say print input. I'll now go and say value 1 is greater than value 2. Now that is the if. You can see under the if statement there's a long arrow here. It's telling you I'm waiting for the closure statement, which is the else. You can come here and press enter and go back under, directly under if, and say else. Else, you're going to put then, else you must put a colon in front of it. You can now print, they call the print function, and say f, you now say value, you can say value 1 is lesser than value 2. You can use words like this. You can change it depending on what you want to do. You can turn it to value 2 is higher or greater. You can say value 2 is greater, and you can reduce this. I can leave this to work. The two of them will be executed. I can say meaning value 2 is the greater value. Hope you guys are understanding what I'm trying to do here. This is an if else statement. It's going to test if I enter value 1 against value 2 and test if its value 1 is greater than value 2. Then it will print value 1 is greater than value 2 and the program will stop. But else that is not correct. Like I told you, the default conditional statement will test for a true statement first. Is value 1 greater? If it is yes, it prints this. If it is true, it prints this. But if it is no, it does not, it's not greater, then it prints these two next line of code. So let's do this. Let's clear this. If I want to run it, code.py, it asks me enter the first value to test. I'm going to say 98. Then I'm going to press enter. The second value to test, I'm going to say 62. We say 98 is greater than 62. That is how it goes. I can run it again and say enter the value to test, and I can say 10. Second value to test, I can say 59. Then it comes with the two other line that says 10 is lesser than 59, meaning 59 is the greater value. Do we understand if else? You can read it and understand, like we can do it together, like we created the value 1 and value 2. I will try to confirm if the value 1 is greater than value 2. If it is yes, then it should print this. If it is else no, then you should print these two next of lines. So I want to ask a question. If I comment this out and I do something like this, value 1 equals to 59, then value 2 equals to 69. Please, what do you think the answer would be yourself? You should tell me yourself. What do you think the answer would be? Please, can you unmute and tell me what do you think the answer would be? So moving forward, if I have value 1 is 59 and value 2 is 69, definitely 51 is lesser than 69. Since it is false, then definitely the print statement of the if cannot be executed. Since it is false, it goes back to else and say it prints that the value 59 is lesser than the value 69, and says meaning 69 is the greater value. So if you want to check the running, you can check it this way, and that's it. The else block, 59 is lesser than 69, meaning 69 is the greater value. So everybody, you understand this now by writing if else statement. Now we want to do something of higher value, something greater than all these ones we have been doing. This is where we want to write the nested if statement. Nested if. What does a nested if means? What does a nested if stands for? It stands for multiple if statements in a particular block of if statements. That means the condition you are testing is not just one, or it is not just two. It is not just one that has an opposite side else. Like I can say I don't know how I can put it now. I don't know which example I can do. Okay, I can say I weigh 500 kilogram. Then I can print it out that I am obese. But if I weigh less than 20 kg, it will print I am slim. So it only goes on how I weight that will now determine between the up and down one. But when we talk about nested if statement, this one can test multiple if statements in themselves. Without further ado or much talk, let us dive into it. Let's write a Python program that actually determines which is the greatest of three numbers. Which is the greatest of three numbers? Write a program that determines which number is the greatest of three values. That means we're going to be having A, B, and C, and we're going to be testing which one is the greatest of them. We have something relating to that in this. A is A greater, is B greater, and everything, and this is it, greater. So we're going to be talking about it, and we're going to be trashing it out ourselves. Everybody be ready to bring heads together. So I'm going to do A equals to int input, then I'm going to be putting the brackets there, and I'm going to do this and say enter the first value. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do for B, and I'm going to do for C. I'm going to do for B, then I'm going to do for C. I say enter the second value, and I'm going to say enter the third value. Then I'm going to be putting a backslash n here, a backslash n, and a backslash n. Then once we have the three, let's do this. Everybody, let's bring L together and get the formula. And say if A is greater than B and and C. Everybody, let me check A and D. Okay, I think A and D goes, and C, I think it goes. If A is the greatest of A and B and C, then we should print let's do a formatted output. Let's print A is the greatest. A is the greatest of the three numbers. Am I going to do else immediately? No, I'm not going to do else. I'm going to put another if statement here, which is going to be called elif. Elif. That is what we call it. Else if is called elif. You are writing a nested if statement. Let me to create a space. Elif. B is greater than A and C. What should happen? It should print B is the greatest of the three numbers. When we say next one again, we could say elif. Let's have the same condition for C. If C is greater than A and B, you could say C is the greatest of the three numbers. Then you could end it by saying else print so you can say print formatted output. You can say print A, B, and C. A, B, and C are same numbers and they are equal. So if you run this program right now, it will ask you for three numbers. It asks you for three numbers and asks enter the first value. I can do this, I can do this, and I can do this. And it says 53 is the greatest of the three numbers. Is that not correct? Is it correct? No. I enter 64. Then something is happening. Something is happening. Can anybody bring an idea? 64 is actually the greatest. So definitely this code is wrong. C is greater than, okay, let's do this. Greater than B and, okay. Everybody, are we together, please? Are we together? I want to know first. Thank you. The reason is either I do this like this and this like this. It's not considering the C. So I have to repeat that statement here. You understand? So it's either A is greater than B and A is also greater than what? Do we get that? A, this condition is a complete condition. This one was not complete. So A is greater than B and also what? A is greater than what? C. B is greater than A and also B is greater than C. C is greater than A and also C is greater than B. Print. Then else print A, B, C are the same numbers and they are equal. Let's watch this if it's going to run. If it does not run, everybody must find solution to the formula. Enter the first value, let's do this. Second value, let's do this. Third value, let's do this. Oh, finally it worked. 75 is the greatest of the three numbers. It's perfect. Let's try it again. Let's see. We should make the first one the greatest one. I think that was the middle one was this is the greatest one now. It worked. 86 is the greatest of the three numbers. Let's try the last one. Let it be the highest. So this one is the smallest. This one is the smallest and 90 is the end. Oh, 90 is the greatest of three numbers. This is very, very super cool. Then let's try all numbers, all values are the same. I say 10, 10, 10. 10, 10, 10 are same number and they are equal. Wow! That is how we write if statement. That is how we write a nested if. A nested if is a particular kind of statement that allow us repeat an if statement inside the same program. So everybody, please, I'm going to be giving you a minute or two to try. I don't know what I should do. Maybe I should send it inside the chat box or I should keep it here. Whatever thing I've written in the past, like testing two values which is greater and these three, or can you guys do the two values yourself? Can you guys do the two values yourself? You can try. Okay, I just want you to tell me in the first one you will do using x and y, which is greater. Please, it's in two places. First of all, do x equals to 10, any value rather, then y equals to any value as such, like 20. Then give me an if statement. If x is greater than, then print, else print. Then also do if, then after that put an input statement here and say x int input. I hope you guys understand what I'm trying to bring out here. So you can run that and I'm going to be putting, then the value of this goes off. I'm solving it already for you guys. The value of this goes off and you are going to write in a statement that enter your first value. Then once you are done, do your if statement here, then print out, then do your else, then print out. That is after you have done the one for assigning a value and also do the one for this type. So I'm going to paste this on the screen and you guys should write something regarding this. This is exactly what I say you should do. A equals to 2, B equals to this thing, to print A if A is greater or lesser than this. So it's going to be printing A or B, else print B. So let me just put this on screen, the one we've done before. Look into it to solve for the greater number between two values and also solve greater number between three values. What is the time right now? I'm going to be giving you straight 10 minutes to come back, and after 10 minutes I'll see what you guys have done. You share your screen each and you will show me. Then from there I'm now going to give you a very gigantic class task. Then once you can get that class task, then we move into the next phase of conditional statement. Do you understand? So you guys play with this and run this. If A is greater than B and A is greater than C. So thank you. Your time starts now. In the next 10 minutes, I will be back. For the next classwork, or possibly I want to make it a kind of an assignment. I'm going to do it in such a way that we are going to write a Python program. What does this Python program does? It's going to compare, it's going to determine if this child has passed his JAMB results or the person has failed the JAMB. So this is what it will do. The Python program will determine if the candidate has passed or failed JAMB. The criteria is like anything this child score must be above 200. So you can come down and say first course. I don't know if you guys can write this in and submit this thing. We're going to do for first course. You can do what is your English score. I think we're determining if the person either pass or fail JAMB. So we're going to be doing what is your English score. That's the first course. I'm going to be doing second course, which is definitely going to be mathematics. What's your mathematics score? And that should definitely be second score. And we have third score and we have fourth score. We test 4 scores over 100 over 400, right? 100, 50, 50, 50. How do we test it? I think maths also is over 100, then the other two subjects are over 50, 50. Or is it? I think the 4 of them is going to be 100, 100, 100, I guess. The 4 of them is going to be 100, 100, 100. So this is going to be the third course, and we're going to be having the fourth course. What did you score? What's your, you could say biology, and we could say chemistry. Now that's all we have there. So the first question, or the first thing is going to be, we're going to come and say aggregate. We're going to have an aggregate which is going to be equals to first course plus second course plus third course plus fourth course. Now I need to get the aggregate of the first course, second course, third course, and fourth course. So I'm going to be giving it my condition that says if the aggregate is this, and I'm going to get the average of it. So I can say the test score, let me just say the test value is going to be aggregate divided by 4. I hope somebody is following. So if we say test value, I'm going to be making test value is small letter T. Test value equals to aggregate divided by 4. What's going to be giving us an answer? It's definitely going to be giving an answer of something that is actually excuse me, in a real number, real variable, that is 20.4, 38.9, 0.256, and something like that. So we're going to be having a real statement as an output, despite that we are hinting this one. So we're going to be having, this is it, we're going to be having this aggregate divided by 2. So we're going to be testing for jam and say if test value is greater or equals to 200. Should it be saying is greater or equals to? Okay, let's do is greater than 200. Is greater than 200. Okay, I'm trying to check something. Should we pick it from value to value? If test value is, let's say test value is from 0 to something, should we do that one from 0 to something or from something to something, or we should just do 200 and lesser than 200? Okay, let's first do from the simple one. I'm getting more inspirations. That's why I'm pausing to check what I'm doing, because I'm looking at it by saying, should we test the value in an aggregate mode? But I'm not going to do that in such a way that I'm going to say if the answer is from 0 to 100, it should say something. If it's from 101 to 200, excuse me please, it should say something. And if the answer is between 201 and 300, it should say something. I'm not going to go this far. Let me be very, very gentle. Let's just test against 400 and say if test value is greater or equals to 200. That is from 200 upward. Anything from 200 itself upward, so any value, it should say, it should print congrats, you passed your jam. It should say congrats, you passed your jam. else then it should give me a print and say ouch, sorry, you can try again next year. So if this is going to be an inside a particular format as you guys requested, if I put name equals to input what is your name, you should collect the person's name in a new line. And I can come here and format it and say F should be here and say congrats, call the name. I'll call the person's name. Name. You scored. You scored. Then you can say test value. You scored test value. It simply means you passed your jam. You passed your jam. Else, ouch, call the person's name. Ouch, sorry, name. I'm say sorry, name. Okay, why am I not having a white name here? Print out sorry name. I'm coming. You can try again next year. This is not going to work because it's not okay. There's no formatted statement here. There's no F here. Yeah. Out. Sorry. Put the name here. Exclamation mark. Can you guys see the way I noticed that? I noticed that name didn't come white. Then something was wrong. So when you're writing a program, also take cognizance of your colors, please. You can say ouch. Sorry name. You can try again. It's called so so so. You can try again next year. You scored test value. You can try again next year. So I'm very sure if you write this jump application, I'm very sure it will determine if that person is actually passing his or a jam, or the person is failing his or a jam. So I would like you guys to also try this. Then I'm going to be giving you my classwork, and that is it. So enter the first value. Sorry, enter the first value. Input. What is your name? Should be inputted. Okay, I didn't. Let me give it a multiple line comment. Multiple line comment. I'm going to be doing this. Okay, so I think this will now run. This will run now. So I'm going to do Control C to cancel what I was doing. I'm going to be clearing screen. And let's do this. What is your name? Mr. Simeon. What is your English score? 35. What is your mathematics score? 87. What is your biology score? 50. What is your chemistry score? You can say 42. Ouch, Mr. Simeon, you score 53.2. Try again next year. Wow, this is so heartbreaking. Did we get this? Did we get this at all? Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. So this is actually the correct version. It should be divided by 2 because each course is 100 mark each. And when you divide it by 2, if it's 400 divided by 2, then definitely we are talking about it's actually over 200. So let's run this program again before I give the assignment, and that is the end of the class. We're running this program again. So I'm clearing it off and I'm running it, and I'll say, what is your name? I'll say Mr. Simeon. And say, what is your English score? I'm going to say 100 because I'm very good at English. Sorry, I'm very good at English. It's going to ask, what is your name? I'm saying Mr. Simeon. What is your English score? I'm going to say 100. Very, very fluent in English. What is your mathematics score? I can say 78. What is your biology score? I can say 87, 67. What is your chemistry score? I can say 89. Then say, ouch. You scored, okay, this is correct now. 60 while 67.0 can try again next year. I think this is correct now. The value 167 does not pass through JAMB cutoff mark, right? Right? It does not. So I think we are very, very correct. We are very, very correct by saying, ouch, Mr. Simeon, you scored 167, but let's assume Mr. Simeon scored beyond all this. That means he's going to be having either something higher and he passed it. But if I have anything of 200 higher, that means I. So now I want you guys to write